Congressman Will Hurd is a member of the House Homeland Security Committee and is a former CIA operative. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us. First, let's talk about this Washington Post article reporting that Russian President Vladimir Putin gave direct instructions to help elect Donald Trump president and that the Obama administration knew about it. What do you make of the Obama administration's response to those findings?
Well, first of all, I don't like to talk about potentially classified information. In that report, there was a whole lot of unnamed sources in that. But I think it's been very clear that the Russians tried an attempt to manipulate our elections, and we can't let that stand. When this first came out, months ago, one of the things that I was saying, at a minimum, we should be kicking out the Russian ambassador. But what this has shown us is we need to improve the amount of intelligence that we have on the plans and intentions of the Russian government, and we need to start thinking about what is our counter covert influence strategy in the United States of America. This was a classic covert influence operation. This is going to go down in the history of the Russian intelligence as one of the greatest covert actions in the history of Mother Russia. And we got to realize that they're going to try to do this again. They've been doing it for decades in Eastern Europe, and we need to be prepared for the next elections.
All right, so let's talk about what happened earlier this week. Jay Johnson, the former Homeland Security Secretary, warned that Russia will attempt to infiltrate U.S. election systems again, echoing really a similar statement from former FBI Director James Comey. What can Congress do to prevent this from happening again?
Well, one of the things Congress can do is make sure that we're shining a light on the various states and what they're doing to improve security around election systems. There's potential for additional federal funds to help states improve and transition to hardware and software that's a little bit more secure. And we have to be careful when we talk about a voting system and what does that actually mean. A voting system in some places, voter registration data is actually available to the public. You can go down to the county courthouse and pull that information. When it comes to who has given money to different candidates, that's available for federal candidates on the FEC website. But we got to make sure that these states take an important priority in protecting the vote boxes, the entities that actually tally the votes. And so this is something that we can prepare before our next elections. And I know every Secretary of State across all 50 states realize that protecting the integrity of our vote casting systems is a #1 priority.
Okay, let's turn to North Korea now. The Korean Central News Agency is now saying the death of American student Otto Warmbier is a mystery and denied that he was tortured or beaten during his captivity. What kind of action can America really take in retaliation?
Well, first off, don't listen to anything that comes out of North Korea because they can't be trusted. I think people need to realize that traveling to North Korea is a bad idea. And one of the things that we have to do is think about, the question is not just what should we be doing. The question we should be asking is what more can the Chinese be doing?
Right.
The Chinese are responsible for 90% of the commerce that happens in North Korea. The Chinese could be doing more. They're allowing North Korean companies to use loopholes in Chinese tax code to continue to get tools to build their nuclear arsenal. We should be looking at, can we stop the Chinese? Are there additional ways that we can force the Chinese to stop doing that?
Yeah, but exactly, Congressman, but how do you get the Chinese to play ball more so with this?
Well, I think we should start talking about sanctions against the Chinese companies that are allowing this kind of activity to happen and allowing some of the technology getting into North Korea.
All right, Congressman Will Hurd, thank you so much.
Thank you.